Hello. Welcome. My name is Obindakon. Welcome. Subscribe to this channel. Share with your friends. We talk about entrepreneurship, about finance, but about Africa. You want dignity for our people, prosperity, success, happiness. Those are the things that we look for, and those are the things that we talk about. So today, I would want to talk about principles of money. Principles of money. Money is an idea. It's something that most of us have been groomed to not to talk about it, to shy away from it. Some people also play down its significance, its importance, and yet I think it's one major problem that we all must look at solving. I think that when people have money, there are other problems that they're able to solve. I mean, everybody has problems, but I think the problems are double when you want to do something and you don't have money to do it. It's at least, I mean, the basic things of life, not so much the huge things of life, but the basic things of life. Let's say you find it difficult to pay your school fees or your children's school fees, or you find it difficult to buy the medicine when you're sick, basic medicine, or the rent is due and it's very tough to pay. You know, basic things, not even the major ones. You know, and so we want to talk, and a lot of the times it's all because of what we know about money. Not many of us have been born or were born in very wealthy families. You know, majority of us, most of us especially, and if you take it to the global scale, most Africans, we had to pay, we had to build from zero, and a lot of things were set against us. So the more we know some of these principles and we stick with them and we apply them, the better we are in a position to at least solve basic money issues. You know, so our understanding of money, they come from what you've been taught, what your grandparents have taught you, what you learned subconsciously or consciously, the community that you grew up in, the village, the town, or even the city that you grew up in, the very things that you saw on TV, the rich people that you saw around you, the poor people that you saw around you, those things, they have informed our understanding of money, you know, and in this world, the things that we're able to do and do well and be so much where we can repeat and produce it independent of conditions and situations are things that we have been intentional about, and the things that we have learned properly, the things that we know, the very basic principles that run those things. You know, so life, they say opinion, you know, some people say this is your opinion and things like that. But when it comes to money, there are some basic things in life that you don't have to have a perfect opinion. You just have to know that this one is critical. You know, so you don't have to have an opinion that, well, it depends. You don't have to take in air. You know, it's a position. Those are fundamentals of life. And I think money is part of those things, because if you don't understand it, a lot of our decisions are influenced by money. As a matter of fact, the whole country can be classified as a poor country or middle income country in this world, or rich country. You know, and when people come from rich countries, Their disposition is different. When even you have money and you come from a country that they have called a poor country, when you go somewhere, even the very poor in those countries that they call rich think that they are richer than the rich who come from countries that they have been able to convince everybody that they are poor. And that's why people come from country. People come from countries that start to do well. You see their confidence even. Now, if you see Chinese move anywhere, you see they talk differently, because now people think that the Chinese have some amount of money. So we can debate it, we can trivialize it, but these are facts. The secondary school that you have to go to, the university that you have to go to, even where you sleep, where you stay, where you bought your house or you built your house, a lot of them have had to do with money. When you join any association and you have money, the treatment is different. And when you go, when you even take a friend and you're asking money from that friend, you're always begging money, asking the person to give you money. The way they treat you is different from when you are giving the person money. So principles of money, they're very critical. That's why, people don't just move from Africa to some of these other countries, not just because they want to leave. So a lot of the times it's because of economic issues, because if you have 10 million somewhere and somebody tells you that let's go to this country, you're going to work and they will pay you 1,000 a year, you will not go because you have money. And those of us who have to start from nothing, a lot of these principles, the earlier we find them and the earlier we apply them, the better. So I'm talking about principles of money. So money, if you think that money is evil, you have to think again. Some people generally think that money is evil. Don't think that money is evil. This computer that I'm using, I bought it with money. The data that I'm using here, it had to take money to buy it. So money is not evil. Money is neutral. It depends on who has it and the decisions. The heart of the person that has money, that will show whether the money is evil. Money is not evil. So money itself is just a concept, just an idea, just paper. It's just something that they move around to say that you have some. So if money is evil, then the salary they pay you will be evil. So not necessarily that money is evil. So you have to understand that money is not evil. And those of us who are religious, you say that money is evil. It didn't say that money is evil. It said that the love of money, if you put money above every other thing in this life and you're ready to do any other thing to get money, then the likelihood that you do evil to get money will be very high. When you put human life, when you put money before human life, then, when you put something greater than money, which is human life, before money, when you put money before things that are greater in this life, like human life, value for life, then you are likely to be evil. But money itself is not evil. Money is fuel. It fuels you. No matter how much vision that you have, it will take you money to fuel it. It will take you money to build that hospital that you want to build, that school that you want to build, the children that you want to help, or the people that you want to build houses for. The people that you want to buy, whatever that you see. If you see any pain, injustice, poverty around the world, or in your community, in your village, and you want to help, you could only help so long as your resources will take you. So money is not evil. Money is neutral, and that's a principle. So the next one is that you must, if you want money, and some people will say that I don't want money. I want money because I just want something later for myself. I don't want later for myself. I want more. So if I can get more, I want it. Would I become happy if I get money? I'm sure if you get money, you'll be happy. If they send you, if somebody steals your money on your mobile money, and you see that somebody has taken your phone and moved some of the money, or you mistakenly, or you get scammed by somebody, you don't become happy. They move your money, but if somebody gives you money, you thank them, you smile. So if they say money will not make you happy, I think money can make somebody happy. So if you buy a nice car for your friend or your wife or your husband, they will thank you, because you're able to buy that car because you have the money. So money is key. And the earlier that you're able to have some straight thinking on money, the better. So it's not evil, it's neutral, and if you must desire that you want some. Some people have never been able to. One of the reasons why a lot of people will struggle with money all their lives is because they live in denial, and they act as if it's not important, or they act as if they don't want it. That's a philosophy that they have to define. Because if you have case with somebody at the court, you're able to pick a very good lawyer. The very good lawyer will take you money, huge money. But if you're poor, you can't take a good lawyer. So don't say that, oh, I want very little for myself. You don't have to have little for yourself. There are so many problems in this world that if you learn these principles and you apply them and you get enough, you can help. There are so many people that you can put in school and you would have changed lives. There are so many people, there are so many things that any of us can do, but we can only do them. Even if you have a great idea, you would want to ask somebody to give you money, and that person probably had money because they created it, they work for it. So the earlier that we are very straightforward with some of these things, the better. So my name is Robin Dalko. I am sharing with you today principles of money. The other thing I said is that money is neutral. Money is neutral. Money is neutral. And if you want money, then we must have a desire for it. And we must also set goals for it. And if you started with nothing, you must have your own goals for it. You must desire it, you must have your own goal for it. And you must also understand that it will take a while for those to become reality. You must have your goals, you must have your plans for it, and you must follow them as well. So this is 2020. If you have your own financial goals from now to 2030, and you work at them gradually, bit by bit, your situation in 2030 will be so much different from what it is now, because 2030 will by all means come. By all means, there will be a time that they will say that this is 2020, 2030. But it will come and meet a lot of people who will still, now, they are in 2020, they are struggling, and they will still be in 2030 struggling because they never position, intentionally with money. They never took any critical, tough decision with money. They ran with the ordinary information on money. And therefore, 10 years will come and nothing will have changed, because the things that we are not so much intentional about hardly change. So and the other thing is that don't wait for any government to come and give you money. Even if it's your government that comes to power, the fact that your government has come to power does not mean that you will get money, especially if you have some morals. There was NDC last 4 years. Some people were praying that NPP will come. When NPP comes, they'll be rich. If you didn't have any good plan, I can bet you that 4 years has come, or 4 years have come, and you're still having it tough with your finances, with your money. Why? Because the government will not change. Even if you follow the politics, even if they give you a position, if you don't have a plan, a president will give you money like that. So that is another one. And the other thing is that a lot of us are very much not logical with money. A lot of us are very much superstitious with money. So we believe that one day you will win lotto, one day things will change. A lot of us think that some supernatural power somewhere will come and turn everything around. So we are not very much logical. We are not critical about it. We don't see patterns with money. We just hope that things will change one day. And that's why we end up not seeing much growth. And some of us too will have some money, but we will spend everything. We will just spend on everything that we think is good about life. Some people are always going for parties. Some people are always buying new shoes. Some people are always changing cars, no clothes. They make money, but they spend it. That it doesn't matter. A lot of business people make a lot of money, contractors, and then they spend everything. And then the next 2 years, you see them back trying to get another money. And some of us are very much emotional with money. When we get money, no advice will work with us. We don't listen to anybody because now we have power. Money has a way, maybe it's a chemical. It has a way of getting into our minds and changing our thought pattern. Money has a way. That's why when people, especially people who have not seen a lot of money, when they get close to money, it changes their mood. It changes their decisions and choices. That's why when people see big money, we say that they change. Because the force of money is more powerful than most people's emotions. Most people who have never trained with the right information on money, when they meet money, a lot of the times the force of money overcomes them. That's why when a poor man sees millions, he changes. So we hear money talking, and money will control you when you don't have the principles set, and when you have not taught yourself some of these principles. So my name is Obindako. I am talking about principles of money. Principles of money. There are things that we must all control. There are things in this life that we must have proper understanding on. And I think that money is one of them. There are other things that proper understanding of why you go to school, proper understanding of religion, proper understanding of how the world's economy runs. And if you're an African, proper understanding of African history, the things that you have been through, they are critical. When you don't have some kind of understanding and some kind of appreciation of what is the reality in these things, you go through life with a lot of frustrations. And the same with money. Most people, very professional, very technical, well educated, highly positioned in society, but they never study money. So money dictates everything in our lives, all our lives. And a lot of the time you see the pain, you see how we're not that much strong with money at the end of our lives, when we have stopped working, when they have gone into retirement, when there is no source of income. That's where a lot of the times you see whether we were intelligent with money or we were not that much intelligent with money, whether we were aware of some of these principles with money or we were not aware of some of these principles with money. And you cannot even run a very successful business if you are not aware of some of these principles, because business runs with money. And the earlier you are able to understand, maybe fortunately, the earlier you come in contact with some of these principles, the better you get equipped. And that's why you can run your home well financially, and that's why you can run your businesses well, or your business well financially. If you never get acquainted with some of these things, you will win and tomorrow you lose. You win today and tomorrow you lose. You win today and tomorrow you lose. Why? Because they are principles. And principles have no respect for anybody. They just stay where they are. If you align with them, they work for you. If you go against them, they work against you. These are principles. I'm not talking of opinion. I'm not talking about maybe. I'm not talking about you being relative, relativism. No, I'm talking about principles. These are things that people have found out that they work. And if you become aware of them and you apply them, no matter the situation that you find yourself in, gradually things will improve and you'll get to a stage where it will be far better than what you were not comfortable with, because then you have anything that is not working in any of our lives. It's because there are certain principles that we don't know them and we don't practice them. A lot of the times, maybe not absolute, but a lot of the times, the things that we fail, we continue to fail in. And money is a major problem for a lot of the world's population. Almost everybody has something. Even those in countries that we say are rich. The only reason people have money is because they have access to credit. It's not because they have it. Somebody would have to credit them. They use it and they pay. So the countries that when you go and they say that these countries don't have money, it's not because the countries don't have money. It's because they don't have access to a lot of this credit that are in those countries that you say they have money. Most people don't have anything that they have worked for, saved, invested themselves. Most people have money because they can get the bank to give them credit, maybe at a good rate. So they want to come to Ghana, they want to go to Nigeria, they have access to credit. I remember when you were somewhere, you open the bank account and they give you 1,000 something in the bank account, they give you a card. So you have not worked, but then they have credited you with money and they slap some interest on it. One of the most dangerous things that you take if you want to become somebody who is able to solve, because the essence of us learning some of these principles is that so that we will get to a stage in our lives that we are able to have our finances under control. We get in a stage in our lives that we can have some kind of freedom, because in this world, you don't have freedom if you don't have some kind of control over your money and how it comes to you, how you use it, how you create it. You don't have that, because money, as they have done it in this world, is that it's tied to the use of your brain, of your time. You go to work, they use the things that you have acquired, the knowledge, the experiences, all the school that you have gone to. They use it, and then at the end of the month, they pay you. So money is tied to a lot of things. So we are virtually exchanging our lives for money, whether we like it or not. Even the work that you don't like. The only reason you go to that work is not because you love the company. Because if the company decides not to pay you tomorrow, I'm not sure you're going the next day. So most people, not everybody, but most people go to work after all this education, after all this technical experience, because we need the money that they pay us. That's why we go to work. That's why somebody can insult you at the workplace and you still have to go because you need the money. But if your information on money is weak, it's not good. If you're unaware, which most people are unaware. When you talk to most people on money, you hear the things that they will say. A lot of the times, people think that it's God who gives money. So, God will give you money. Then I ask them, so if God is the one giving us money, why is it that some people don't have it? Is it because God is biased? No. It's because there are principles on money. Hi, my sister, Melissa. So there are principles on money. If you find them and you apply them, they work. Some people can grow. Let's say you are in life, maybe 30 years, first 30 years, second 30 years, third 30 years. Majority of us will maybe cross the first 30 years, the second 30 years. At the end of the second 30 years, they say go on retirement or something. And then the next 30 years, let's assume that you're going to live between the next 30 years, so between 60 to 90. Most of us, the first 30 years, most people live all their life not knowing anything about money. The first 30 years is where we used to go to do a lot of things. We go to school, we marry, we raise children, and the children grow in the next 30 years. Between 30 and 60, that's a lot of us who establish ourselves professionally, decide to buy some houses or build houses. That's the period. But most people never intentionally upgrade anything on money. They only work for it. We only work for it. Most of us, the only reason we don't have money is because our data on money may not be so much effective. And we have a lot of excuses on money. So most people have a lot of excuses. You cross the road and talk to a lot of people about money, you'll be shocked. The kind of things that say, God, some people are lucky, so they get money. Then people think that one day they will get the lotto and they'll get money. Or maybe Supernatural, somebody. Yes, there will be people like that once in a while. But why would you want to wait for 1 out of a million? It's chance. No, I'm not so much interested in chance. I'm interested in something that I am certain that within my lifetime, I'll be able to get something like that, So I don't, yes, a lot of people would want to say that, no, it happens. And I don't debate that it happens, but it's not happening to me. So it's not something that I'm going to plan with. So it's so critical that you get the principles. Let's say you build a house or you manufacture a car. There are principles that are involved in people use in building anything. That if you see any structure that anybody has built, there are principles there. They use them. Once they teach you those principles, you can use them to build that house or build that car or build that machine. If you're not aware of those principles, you will fidget. Once out of 1,000, maybe you will succeed. I don't know. But to replicate it, continue. And for anybody at all to use the same thing and get similar results, they would have to be aware of these principles. And that's why you go to any organization. Anything that is taught anywhere, they give them basic facts on how things are done in any area that you see anywhere. There are laws, there are principles there that they teach them. Unfortunately, when it comes to money, they don't teach us. So they don't teach us those things. So we make a lot of errors, make a lot of mistakes, and then once in a while, one of us will succeed. And then we say that life is so tough. Life can be tough, and we agree to that. But those with the right understanding of some of these things will eventually beat the toughness outside, the toughness in the culture or in the environment. So my name is Obinako. I'm talking about principles of money. And the first one I think I said was that money is not evil. It's not evil, and it's not in the hands of God. It's in our hands. You don't have to. That's why you take money. If money is evil, then why did you take your salary? So it's not evil. And we are saying that you must have a plan for the money. It will not just happen. Maybe now you are 40 years. You will not get a lot of money by 70 or 60 just because you wish. There are things that we all must practice. And some people will say that I don't want a lot of money. I want a lot of money because there are problems that I want to solve, not only for myself, but for a lot of people. And those with money have a lot of options, and these are all ideologies that anybody can grow up with. A lot of people, unfortunately, have grown up with ideas about money that work against themselves. They work against us, and that's why we struggle with money. Even when we want to go and get another education, let's say I'm an engineer. Anytime I want to get another education or some certificate, I'll go into the same engineering. I better the professional skill. Very few people would go and take another class on money. And yet they go and get better qualification to do their job well because they want extra income. They want extra money. Most people want extra. They want better job. They want better pay. We will tell a lot of, other accessories, but they never. And most people even forget that a lot of people with money don't even continue to upgrade themselves professionally like that. Because professional, upgrading yourself professionally, all that, those are sacrificial things. So for instance, you're a doctor, it's a sacrificial job. Nobody can compensate you as a doctor in terms of money. Stuff, but so you cannot become disappointed as a doctor without money because there's a way society compensates you. It's likely that it may not be money. You'll be compensated with money when you have your things sort out well, in terms of set out well in terms of the principles and how you know them and how you apply them. So if you're able to tell yourself that it's not evil and it's neutral, it depends on who has it, and you can do a lot of things with money. It fuels your vision. It's more logical than emotional. Money is more logical. It's a pattern that most people who have it, they make right decisions with money. That's why they have money. People who get it, because every one of us has a way of getting some kind of revenue, whether through your job, through your business. Some people will give you free money. The money that comes to our hands, the decisions that we make with them, the quality of decisions that we make with them, they will decide whether we'll get something or not. So let's say 2020, you have maybe 3,000 saved with you. The decisions that you make with that 3,000 will decide how much money you will have in the next 10 years, let's say 2030. Some people in the next 10 years will not have the 3,000, they will even be negative. And some people will be able to turn the 3,000 into something significant that will change your life forever, in terms of money. But it all depends on the decisions that you make and how aware you are with the principles of money. And we said that it's not emotional. So if you want to build money, you must know that once money is with you, you must follow a certain pattern. You must know this money is going here, this money is not going here. A lot of us without money is because when we get the money, anybody at all can convince us to give them the money. A business can convince you to give them money so that you buy a nice shirt or a nice car. Or you change your TV, or you change your handset, your mobile phone, or you spend the money without proper returns on the money. It means that emotionally the money is stronger than us, and that's why we don't have much. So we are always spending without direct returns from we don't get any benefit from the money. We only receive and we spend, and that's why we always chase money. But the people who have stronger understanding of money, when they get the money, they're able to make right decisions to keep the money and to grow it. So the 3,000 then becomes 5,000. They grow it to become 10,000. They grow it to become the next 30,000. They grow it to become 100,000. They grow it. But the other ones, without that, they don't grow it. We always spending. So we make, and we have a lot of nice excuses. It's children's education, so we must spend on them. You must have a very nice wedding or very nice funeral for our parents, or we must live, take take first class, even if we can afford it, because we have weak understanding of money. So it's neutral, and money does not respond to emotions. Money is built with a structure, with a system. But most people will spend it only, and they waste it. Hardly most people will even follow any idea on, say, a budget for themselves or for the family, especially if you don't have much coming in. Let's say maybe you make 100,000 every month, and your household expenditure is maybe 2,000. Whether you budget it or not, you can always take care of it and still have a lot of business. But let's say you have 2,000 as household budget and you make 2,000. That one, you must have a strict budget on yourself, because the whole agenda, the whole plan is to grow yourself to a certain limit where nobody then can control you with money, at least for the basic things of life. For the rent, for the house, for the food, for the clothes. For the basic things, you can take care of your life. If nobody gives you a job for the next 20 years, you'll still be fine, because you're making decisions on money rightly. And it really does not depend on how much income you even get a lot of the times. Because if you get, no matter how much money you make, if you make all and you spend them, you will still always be in a position of need. So then there is another one that you must know, that you must create more than you use. And so that you have to have it as a plan. How do I create more than I use? And that is coming from an understanding that money is important, money is critical. If you're still in a position where you say that, I don't care about money and all those things, then there's a problem. There's a problem. So my name is Sobindako. I'm talking about principles of money. I'm saying that a lot of us run our businesses, run our homes with no understanding of some of these things. And yet money plays a huge, significant role in this life. If your friend is a millionaire or a billionaire, you will talk to people about use. The reason that we know a lot of these rich people is because they have money. Without money, we wouldn't even, when they talk, you would not even listen. Why? But now he has money, society listens to him. So money, it's a force that controls a lot of things. Controls a lot of things. So it's something that we must study, and we must study them ourselves. If you come from a background that you don't have much, if you don't study some of these things, you will not have much. And I believe that the generation before should have created something so that we will build from there. But if they didn't create anything and you are building from zero, then you have to build with intention or with the mind that I am going to leave something for the next one. So that they don't have to start with zero. so that they will have something. And then hopefully the other people who come after them. And it's all understanding. The way the rich people think about money is so different from the way poor people think about money. And we are not even talking about billions or millions. We are talking about being able to have an appreciable level of money somewhere. It said that you don't worry so much about the basic things of life. And if you have worked for 10 years, 20 years, you can't wait for government to take care of you. You can't wait for the insurance people, Senate, to take care of you. You can't wait for anybody to, hoping that when you get 50 or 60 or something, they will be able to pay. No, that should not be, because you received something. Where did you invest that? How did you manage that? So the more you know about this, the more you can also manage your business well. Because most businesses collapse. Why? Because the people who are leading the business have no clue about the principles of money. So it's critical. So we must have our own financial goals and work towards them, one bit at a time. Either you own a business or you work for salary. Every one of us can still reach a certain level of financial independence. You just have to work towards it. And the next one, it takes a lot of work to get some of these things done. There will be a lot of there'll be your friends will advise you, your family will advise you, people will tell you that you're weird, you don't have time. Because the moment you're focused on some of these things, there will be a lot of things that you can do. And you'll see a lot of people with nice cars who have nothing invested or who have nothing saved. So, but once you're aware of some of these principles and you continue to apply them intentionally, the time will come that you look back and you would have done very good work. So it's not so much of changing jobs. It's not so much of you waiting for help from anybody. It's not so much of us waiting for big lotto win or miracle or some supernatural power to change our finances, but so much of how much aware we are with some of these things about money. And some of these things, the wealthy, they know them, they apply them. And that's why they're able to keep money and manage them well. But if you are not aware of them, then it becomes difficult. And we said that money is not evil. It doesn't come from the devil. If it comes from the devil, it's not evil. It's something that we all use, and there are principles about it. It responds to us. It talks all the time. My friend said at the other time, that if you find any couple fighting early in the morning, it's so likely to be about money. And I heard that so when you hear any two married people, man and wife, fighting in the morning, like in a compound house, it's so likely that it's money issue. That's why they're fighting. Because if there is money, they will fight about other things, not that, because the money solves a lot of problems. The money will get you to live in a very nice area if you want. If the child is sick, the woman will not have to worry about if the child is sick, you don't have to worry about the hospital bill. If the rent is due, you will not have to worry about where the rent when you're going to pay the rent, because then because you understand. So all of us, we can do something and do it well if you understand the principles behind those things. And I dare say that very few people are very much intentional about studying this, especially those who come from backgrounds where money, they don't have much money. Because a lot of us are just playing from what they told us, what they taught us. So if what they taught you about money is weak, it's so likely that you will grow up with the same misinformation about money. And most people have grown up. Sometimes they even hold big positions in society. But when you give them money, the decisions that they make with money, those decisions show that they don't understand the basic principles that run with money. you know. So the only one that, I mean, they get salary and they go and buy stock, you know, shares with that money, company shares or treasury bills or things like that. That's the only decision that they make about money, you know. So they go and build a house. Most people, that's what I've seen. They build a house with the money they make and they buy shares, stock or mutual funds, and that's it. They have no clue about how to multiply the money beyond that, you know. So, and it all comes with the knowledge that we have about money. And your business is going to do well if you understand some of these principles. The business, purely, you're managing people, you're managing processes and products, and you're managing money. In any of these skills, if you don't have them well played out, the business will not grow. So a lot of the times, businesses collapse because of how we are not able to manage the money side of the business well. You know, because when a lot of our decisions that we make on the business is money related, a lot of the times. So if the money is weak, the business will suffer. So people have money and then they lose it in a year, in a month, because of wrong decisions that they made with money. And a lot of the times it's because they are unaware of some of these principles of money. You know, so maybe you are going to negotiate for a project. The more you are aware of some of these principles, you'll be able to know, okay, so if I put money in this project, when is the money coming? If I have to take loan on this project, what is the interest rate? If something happens with the inflow on the project, how do I handle this debt? What am I going to even use as a guarantee for this loan? Is it even needful for me to do this? You know, if you have proper understanding of money, you will know that that decision that you're taking or that project that you're taking will be a decision that will sink the business, or will be a decision that will not sink the business. Sometimes a whole family's worth will get wiped out because we didn't know some of these things. A lot of the times, marriages will break down because they are unaware of these principles of money. You know, so I would want to go over and then I would want to close this. So principles of money, they are very key. You have to have your own plan that you work within. I think that by the time that you are 20 years, you must have your own financial plan. And it's independent of you getting education. You know, so go to the school, get all the certificate that you want, but you must have your own financial plan because it's going to decide a lot about what you become in this life and what you're able to achieve. If you want to build any organization, if you want to build a business or you want to build any organization to make changes in our society, your decisions on money is key. And what we tell is if we get somebody who does not understand some of these things to become a president of a country, he will destroy the entire economy of the country because he's unaware of some of these things. If you don't have financial freedom, you really don't have freedom. You know, if you have to beg to eat, you don't have freedom. If you have to be controlled, you don't have freedom in terms of finances. And so we must all desire to have this kind of freedom. And it's not something that you give it to chances. You don't have to swear oath on poverty to say that I want to be poor all my life. Because money is fuel. Even the people who swear oath of poverty, they drive nice cars. You know, so you don't have to say that, oh, me, I don't know. That's deceptive. I've come across people who think like that. You need money to change, build cities, change lives. And if you so desire, for instance, our continent is going to do well if you get a lot of people who can think properly with money and with finances. Africa will do well. We have a lot of resources. The people who lead us to negotiate some of these resources, what is the level of the understanding in terms of money, in terms of finances, in terms of long-term wealth creation for the entire continent? Those who lead us, who taught them about money. That's why somebody can take a whole deposit of minerals, you know, and go and use it as collateral for nothing. Because who taught him about money? You know, who taught him about money? Because the value of money is so critical. So those who continue to lead you and the people who come after you, they will continue to lead you because the understanding of money is different from the way the poor understand money. So principles of money, they're critical. So if you don't know them, you've got to study them. You have got to read about them, and the more you study them, the more you will find yourself applying them. And the more you apply them, after a while, you look back and you see that your finances have improved. They have changed because you got aware of these principles. And these principles are such that you must have goal for your finances. You must have goal for your finances. You must desire not to, you don't have to become friend with poverty to say that I don't want money. You must want money. You want liberation for Africa? There's no way Africa is going to be liberated if somebody controls our wealth. That's a lie. So the only way Africa is going to be respected and going to do well is because we are the ones in charge of our prosperity, of our wealth. So if you say that money is not important, then why do you want Africa to be independent? Because if you don't get people who understand this, the world runs on money. The power play in this world is about money. It's about wealth. That's why nations go to war. They want to take the wealth of another nation. They subjugate and oppress people because of money. Because of money. So you cannot say that I don't care. No. So you must decide that, and you must know that the goals and the plans are very much important, and that your finances are not in the hands of the government. Even if your government is in power, you must be in charge of your own finances. It's our duty. It's your duty. It's not somebody's duty. It's your own responsibility to take care of your own finances. It is your job to make sure that your finances is not in another man's hands. That's why when somebody takes, so if somebody is responsible of your money, it's dangerous. Even if you have a job and somebody pays you, their responsibility is to pay you. Your responsibility is to take the salary and to do something with it, such that tomorrow, if they say don't come to work, you will not need them to feed you. So that is your responsibility. And maturity is when you start to take responsibility of yourself, and you take responsibility for the lives of others. That's maturity. So, but if you're not aware of this, somebody else will control you. And then they will tell you that, money is not everything. In this world, money is everything. When it comes to things that you have to buy with money, yes. If you don't have blood now and they take you to the hospital, you will buy it with money, the blood. If you go to the hospital, people die because they can't afford a certain drugs, certain medicines. There are prescriptions that they will give to people who they think have money and they can afford. And there are those that they will give to people who they think don't have money because they cannot afford. So it changes life. It's actually, it can break life or it can break death. So it's not evil. It's a product of good decisions and good choices. It's a decision. It's a product of quality decisions. So the more information that you have on money and you're able to do them well, the better you. And it's not geographical per se. It's these principles. You can be in Ghana here, practice them, and over a time you create wealth, not only for yourself but beyond yourself. You can be in anywhere in the world, apply these principles gradually. You create something beyond. And you probably would have started with nothing because it's a principle and they work everywhere. One thing about principles is that they work everywhere. They are independent, they are neutral. A man can apply the same principle, it will work. A woman can apply, it will work. A child will apply, an adult, a white person will apply, a black person will apply. They can apply anywhere and they will work. It's like gravity, for instance. It doesn't matter who you are. Once you go up and you drop something, it will come to the ground. Why? Because the law the law of gravity does not care who is applying it. It's the same. They apply everywhere. So principles on money apply anywhere if you use them. But if you're not aware of them, and you not being aware of them, does not mean that they will not work. They will work for you, or they will work against you. You must know them to produce consistent results. These are laws of money. And the thing about it is that they don't teach them in our schools. So even the economics professor may not have much. So money is not emotions. They are laws. They are principles. So the people whose emotions, money is stronger than their emotions, they are the ones who are always following money and crying for money, and they will do evil for money because money is a force, and you don't have to have money to be stronger than you. The least thing that we must overcome in this world is money, and yet it's about the number one thing that a lot of people don't overcome. So people migrate because of money. A lot of people have moved from Ghana, from Nigeria to another country because they think that they will do well there. And if you're not aware of these principles, it doesn't matter where you go. Eventually, you will not do well as you still become a slave to money. Because the only thing that brings freedom are the principles that you apply. The stronger principles that you apply over time will give you the financial freedom. But if you don't know them, then you'll not be able to even apply them. So you must have a budget, and you must know how you can create more than you use. So my name is Obinda Ako. I want to thank you for watching. I've talked about principles of money. Money is a volatile subject. I remember there was a time my brother told me, listen, me, I'm not so much interested in a little money. I'm okay with it. Be content with what you have, but you can't change a lot of lives with little. And the more you think that you are only going to get it only for yourself, you're very selfish. And you're not looking for selfish people. You're looking for people who can change lives. So my brother was thinking of himself, say that, no, me, I don't want much. And that's an ideology that they have put in a lot of people's head. I don't buy that ideology. I want much so that I can help more, so that I can do more. If I'm making 2,000 a month, and I can make 20,000 a month, I can help many people. How much would I eat? Not much. As an individual, there's a certain amount of money that when you have, you can live any lifestyle that you want compared to anybody else. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of millionaires who live better lifestyle more than a lot of these so-called billionaires. Because it's a threshold. Once you get it, let's say you get 10 million. There's a lot that you can live if it's only for yourself. But if you want to do more to change lives and to bring a lot of value to society and to individuals, then you must have more to do more. So let's say you want to buy drugs and give it to maybe a certain group of people, for instance. If you don't have the money, you can do that. If you want to go to your secondary school to build a whole block of dormitory for them, if you don't have money, you can do that. If you want to go to your village to build a hospital for them, if you have money, you can do that without begging anybody. But if you don't have that, you can do that. And I think that all of us must target at least $1 million in a lifetime invested somewhere. It's a plan. So let's say you are 20 years. You just tell yourself, at least if I'm not able to do anything for myself at all, I'll be able to invest $1 million somewhere. Value, million. It can be any currency. $1 million is $1 million in any currency. It can be CD, it can be dollar, it can be euro. Wherever that you live, your target is, how do I get to $1 million? So I give myself 20 years. So now I'm 20 years now. By the time that I'm 40, I'm working towards it. So your mind will start to open. If I'm not able to meet it at maybe 40, I'll be able to meet it at 60 without necessarily killing or stealing to get it. It's all the principles. But if you're aware of them, you'll be able to apply them. But if you say, oh, me, I don't care. You don't care? No. Then the next generation will come. The next generation that your children will come and struggle, and their children will come and struggle, and then the next children will come and struggle, because the one who came before them only cared about himself or herself. He was selfish. You know, so the essence of you creating wealth is also that you become generational in thinking. You know, you become generational, transgenerational in thinking. So your children's children, you are looking at them. What can I leave them? Can I leave them a cocoa farm? Can I leave them some apartment? Can I leave them gold? What can I leave them? Can I leave them some businesses? You know, so that you're not living just for yourself. And if you're not aware of some of these principles, then your children will come and suffer just as you are suffering, because somebody came before you, and that person was only selfish. They didn't think about you. You know, because families can keep wealth for generations if they are taught. Some families have done that. You know, because I know cocoa farm, for instance, can be maybe 50 years or 100 years. So if your grandfather left you cocoa farm, nothing at all, you'll be able to eat every month, even if you don't have any job to do. You know, if they left you a very big land, farmland, maybe 100 acres or 1,000 acres, that's something significant. They left you something. The family is not starting with zero. They have wealth. If they left you some gold back somewhere, the family will always look at that. If somebody gives you any treasure and they say keep, it's for you, you will not leave it anywhere. If they give you any treasure, they say that this is 100,000, it's for you, you will find a place to keep it, because it's something and you actually want to look at it every day. So if you say you don't want money, you're lying. If they give you any treasure, let's say any treasure, maybe diamond, gold, something, and they say that this is valued at 100,000 or $1 million, that is for you. Once they give you that, you go and put it somewhere. You will not just put it openly for anybody to steal it. No, you will keep it somewhere. If you don't use it, your children will have something to start life with. If you leave them a house, if you leave them apartments, it's a big start. But if they have to start from zero, that is dangerous. And that's why a lot of us become late in life, because we had nobody gave us an advantage in terms of finances. We had to start with nothing. So we had to start to build our own house. We had to start to pay for our own education. You started with zero. And that's why, because I think that generation in wealth creation is generational. So if those who came before you left you something, it's like a baton, then you will take it to the next stage. But most of us will live selfish life, and then we will leave the next people nothing. So my grandfather didn't leave me anything. So I had to start zero, and that is tough. But somebody who was left with something significant, well, then if at least they know some basic things, they'll be able to do something. And that's how you overcome poverty. And poverty is not a good thing. So my name is Robin Dalco. I'm talking about principles of money. And I'm saying that if you're aware that there are principles that guide money, that is a major step. Even if you are not aware of the specific principles, the fact that you have heard that there is something called principles of money, and you must read about them, you must find them yourself, that is a major step. Because there are principles in anything. If you have a degree in chemistry, they taught you some basic principles about chemistry. You have a degree in sociology, is the same. They taught you something about that. If you have a degree in math, it's the same thing. There are basic principles that they will teach you. And that's why, and they taught that teacher those principles. That's why he's able to teach you. The same with money. The moment you are aware of these principles, you will be able to, and you're able to produce results for them. You'll be able to teach your children, and you'll be able to share it with others. And if they also apply them consistently, after a while, they also get results. And life, I think, is far easier when money is a little bit under control. When you don't have to worry so much about the paracetamol that you're going to buy. When the car breaks down, you can't repair it. That's not good. When the battery is gone, you can buy some. That is not good. When anything that takes finances gets down, you have no idea what to do. That is not good, because you are so much restricted. That is not good. It means that you didn't apply these principles all your life. So you're at a point where, and the thing about poverty and the thing about money and its lack is that then you're always angry. You're always not happy. You know, you pour your anger and your frustration on the children, and meanwhile it's not them. They didn't cause you to go through that. There's nothing as crazy as financial pressure, especially when you're in debt. It's so dangerous. There's no pressure that comes from that when people are calling you for their money and you don't have it. You know, but when you know these principles, you'll be able to fight back. And the likelihood that you will not even be in that debt is so certain. Because with consumer debt, you don't take loan to buy TV. You don't take loan to buy food to eat. You don't take loan to buy telephone. You take loan to put in something that will be able to pay for that loan. You know, but if you're taking loan to spend on things that you will not get direct money returns to pay the loan, you don't understand why they created the loan in the first place. They created loan so that you can use it to create wealth, not to create trap. Yet most people are giving credit, and they have created trap for them. You know, so they are always in one trouble or the other, because they focus so much on loans that don't create wealth. You know, so you're taking the loan to paint your house, to change your phone, to buy nice clothes. You don't understand money, and therefore you have money problems all the time. You know, but if you take the loan to put in something that is able to pay back the loan and give you profit, then maybe you understand that. You understand the word of money. And that's what the rich people do. They don't take loan to go and buy food. Watch it. No. Oh, sometimes you see them, they say, oh, government workers. You see them, they write somewhere, government workers, come and take loan. Come and take TV, high purchase. Don't need that. If you don't have TV, don't go and take loan to buy TV. The news that you're watching, what are you going to get? How are you going to pay the loan back? Then they take it from your salary. You would never have peace with money. And if you do that, you don't understand money. You take loan to go and buy a laptop. And what are you using it for? Watching a movie. You want to enjoy life? No. There's no dangerous trap more than debt that you use that you don't know how to pay back. You know, so you don't do that. You don't take that loan to go and paint your house and live in and change your gate. And then they are taking it from the source, because those are the things that they sell to people who don't understand some of these principles. So you go to these microfinance people, they charge you 5% a month. You say, oh, madam, we can give you this. Then you take your time to pay. No. It means you don't understand money. You know, it's rather you put up with the stress and create your own leverage. You create your own allowance with the money that you have. You start to put something there, you know, or you create a way where you get more than you need. You know, so you work as a doctor. You can create another thing. Can you start a provision shop? What is it that you can do to give you extra income? Can you start an online shop? What can you do? Can you give another service to somebody? What can you join that can get you extra income? You know, and the moment the extra income starts to come in, you start to create a whole different journey. I have a friend who is a barber, and he said that the money that I get from this work that I do, I have put it in starting a cocoa farm in my village. The mother was telling him to buy land and build a house. He said, no, I want to build a cocoa farm first. I want to have a cocoa farm, and out of the cocoa farm, I'll be able to build my house. Now, what job? What is his level of education? Not so much. What job is he doing? It's not so much. But he's so much sensible that within the next 10 years, he says that he wants to create this kind of world. It's a principle. You know, principles of money. So I want to say thank you very much. Thank you very much And please share this with your friends. Thank you.